Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing today? This is Yusuf Chowdhury, once again tuning in from San Antonio, Texas. It is 6 p.m. Central Time, right here in San Antonio. All right. Just give me a second here. Hey, Gabriella, how are you? Let me just share this on my page. Then we'll get back and talk about the subject today. I got a question about SEO. So let's go ahead and have a good discussion about it. If y'all have any question about SEO, feel free to fire away your questions. Looking forward to making tech great again. Yes, awesome. Okay, so one of the questions that I got, somebody was actually planning to this individual studied the WordPress, how to use WordPress, and also basic of SEO, and they needed some help on how to optimize the website. So before getting into the optimization, let's talk about briefly what search engine is, right? Okay, or the SEO. There you go. Wazifa, assalamu alaikum. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. So I did look at your website, right? You said that you have some knowledge about SEO. Can you tell us a little bit how far did you study the concept of SEO? How far did you kind of dig in? Because I looked at your site and it's a B2B kind of business, mostly I think close to governmental kind of projects. Can you tell me what's the level of your SEO knowledge? So that way I don't have to repeat something that you already know. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and wait. All right. So here's the thing, folks. Before talking about the SEO or the search engine, I mean, there are a few things you have to take into consideration. Okay, because the SEO mostly deals with the website, which is your property, your own site that you're trying to. Would love to know about SEO and Facebook. Okay, let's because since the subject is about SEO, let's focus on that today, right? So first of all, how do we define a search engine first? Because we have to understand the concept or the strategy and the idea of what SEO is. Tawsif, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you? Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How do you audit a site based on user experience? And is there any tool to audit user experience of website? Yes. In terms of tool, there's some rules when it comes to user experience. Okay, I can definitely go and talk about that. But I don't think there's any tool that can look at the site and tell you from user experience. I mean, one second, I take that back. I mean, there were some, but I cannot remember. Mostly, what they will tell you, like if the message is clear, if the call to action clickable, like some minor thing. If you use Google Lighthouse, there's a Chrome extension called Google Lighthouse, which basically what it does, it analyzes your website for the on-page SEO, but there is an option for usability or user experience. It's very minimum that it will give you some sort of rating and some sort of grading or some sort of grade about the quality. So you can definitely check that Google Lighthouse. Okay, it's a Chrome extension. Remind me to show you when I do the screen. Ahmadullah, assalamu alaikum. How are you? There you go. That's my relative from the motherland. Wazifa, how do you use Yoast on WordPress? Okay, excellent question. There are a couple of great questions here from Tawsif and Wazifa. Ansari, wa alaikum salam. Digital marketing and SEO, are they the same? Okay, all right, this is good. These are great questions. So let me answer this question one at a time. So for Ansari, well, first of all, think of digital marketing like the medical school, right? When you get into the medical field, MD medical, what's under the medical? You have surgeons, you have physicians, you have different variations and categories and varieties, right? Same thing with the digital marketing. Digital marketing is the head, and below the digital marketing, you have certain areas. Some agencies, like myself and other agencies, we focus on all of it, and some agencies only focus on one area, right? Let's say web development. Some agencies only focus on web design, some on graphics, some on content, some on Google Ads. Make sense? But some other digital marketing agencies focus on everything. Like in my company, onlinebusinessowners.org, we focus on all that. So within the digital marketing, you have a website design, website development, branding that consists of content branding and graphic branding, right? Online ads, which is Google and Bing advertising, social media ads, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, Reddit, right? Then social media marketing or social media management, correct? Then landing pages, which is part of the website, conversion, also part of the website, email marketing. So there's so many areas within digital marketing. Now, SEO is one of those areas. Make sense now? So that's the question for Ansari. Now, Wazifa, regarding the Yoast on WordPress. So basically, when I talk about the SEO in a few minutes, so I can give an idea what is the purpose of the Yoast. So basically, Yoast is a plugin that can help you to implement some of the basic SEO technique. With that Yoast, what happens, you have to give it to somebody who's a coder or a developer to put the back-end coding stuff and the text that you need. So Yoast makes it easier for those that are non-technical. Ansari said, yes, it does. You're welcome, Akhi. You're welcome. Let's see. So you said Iman is basic. I recently learned that I can use the Yoast. Okay. All right. So let me refresh the knowledge for you, Wazifa, so you can follow through, because sometimes repetition is good. So I can focus on the most important part, right? Tawsif, what was the question? Yeah, for the user experience, Tawsif, like I said, check out Lighthouse Chrome extension. If I can remember of any other tool for user experience, I think there was one brother the other day shared a link with me. It was a free tool that does the on-page analysis, but there was also a minor user experience option. Okay. Gabriela, we're going to focus on SEO today, if you don't mind. Okay, so let's first of all understand what is SEO, because if you don't understand what SEO is, which is unfortunately, I would say 9 out of 10 of the businesses out there don't understand it, they don't get it. That's what the confusion is. Yes, I don't know technical back and stuff of coding, so Yoast will have to work for me. Yes, even though Yoast can help you, right, but it's not going to be the full 100% backend technique, because the backend SEO does require technical stuff too. But at least if you know the basic, that would help you. Okay, excuse me. Is the website that you have right now, is that built on WordPress, the Edgar solution, or is it built on something else? All right, so let's go back and understand what SEO is. Okay, we can I can go ahead and define SEO based on how Google defines it. Okay, so according to Google, the definition of SEO from their perspective is, and I quote this, is to make it easier for the search engine it's Google, to crawl. So basically the search engine has a software, sometimes we call it crawler, bot, web, spider, right? So the functionality of the spider, of this crawler, is to crawl the internet, right, and find trillions of pages and index those web pages and put them on the index server, and to understand the content of those pages within your website. Now, pay attention to this. What did I say? The objective of that bot or the crawler to index your pages and to understand its content or the content of your pages. Focus on the word content. That means when you build the website, those content has to be clear, understandable to the target audience, but it also has to be understandable for the search. Okay, so it's to make it easier for the search engine to crawl, index, and understand your content. You should base your optimization decision first and foremost on what's best for the visitor of your website. Okay, what is the best experience of your target audience who visit your website? So that's the definition according to Google. Okay. Now, I'm sorry, I do experiential marketing, but I'm really interested into digital marketing too. Do the courses on Learn from Google helps? Yes, but let me tell you one thing. There are a couple of resources that you need to follow through directly and read it from the actual authority resources. Why? Because when you Google stuff online, there's some courses that are not actually ethical when it comes to like SEO practices. Some of them are shady, some of them are outdated. So you have to find the correct one. To do that, let me mention to you a couple of websites that you need to follow. These are the all USified approved website. So number one, Ansari, check out searchengineland.com. That's number one. Searchengineland.com. Searchenginejournal.com. That's the second one. Searchenginejournal.com. That's the second one you need to follow. And of course, Moz, Moz.com. The former founder, Rand Fishkin, the amazing Rand Fishkin. So Moz.com. Search engine roundtable.com, search engine roundtable.com. I guess for these, this should be enough for tons of resources because these all the content on these websites are ethical practices and technique. Now, if you want to learn further, you can join google.com/partners. Howdy, partner, right? Google.com/partners. It's free to join, and they have all the classes on not necessarily for SEO, but more for Google Ads, Google Search Console, YouTube Ads, and Google Analytics. And once you study those, and you have to pass, in order for you to pass, you have to at least get like 85 or 80% or 85% pass to get the certification, and get a lot of benefit from it. The other website I highly recommend, it's HubSpot.com. You can go to this awesome company, HubSpot.com. When you go to that website, look for Academy, HubSpot Academy. They have tons of free courses. One of my favorite also, SEMrush, okay, SEMrush.com, SEMrush.com. You go to that website and look up for a page that says SEMrush Academy, okay. They have tons of amazing free courses on how to learn search engine optimization. Okay, awesome. All right, so we did define SEO based on how Google wants us to understand, especially for average businesses. I'm going to go back to that definition again, and it is, according to Google's definition, to make it easier for search engine to crawl, index, and understand your content. You should base your organization's decisions first and foremost on what's best for your website visitors. You have to focus on the topic of content, understandable content, clear content, right? For who? For your target audience, for your visitors. So when you build it, you have to make it easy for them. You have to make it, when they visit this website, they understand what they're looking for and navigating easily to the site. Can you connect those things? So make sure you connect the audience, your target audience, with the content. And of course, for the search to understand what the audience want, and also what are those content for the audience. Make sense? All right. Now, let me go ahead and define SEO from my perspective. So the way I define SEO, it is a technical, okay? It is a technical and creative process. Now, why did I mention technical and creative at the same time? Can anybody tell me why did I mention, or how about this? What does technical mean to you, and what does creative mean to you? If I tell you it's a technical process and creative, what does it mean to you? Let me see a couple of answers here. What does it mean, folks? Anybody? What does it mean? What does it mean? Huh? Does anybody know? So it's technical because that means there's a technical steps on the back end of the website. That means there's a technical requirement, script, language, and so forth. Tags, schema tags, micro format. Okay. Technical is something from books. something like a code, like a script, like a language, technical on the back end of the website. Okay, when I say creative, that's the front end. This is where the user experience comes in. This is where the ad copy or the text copy makes sense to the website visitor. Okay, the visual, it's meant for that niche. If I'm a yoga, I'm going to build the website that looks like, if somebody visits it, oh, it's a yoga website. Visual. Okay, so there's a technical process and the creative process on the front end of the website. For the purpose of what? Is to influence. Creative means designing, writing, easy stuff. Yes, absolutely, Wazifa. Creating means designing, writing content that relevant to the target audience. Even the visually is relevant. Make sense? So it's a technical process and creative process, and the whole objective of these two technical processes is to influence what? The visibility of your website in a search engine's organic search result. What does that mean? If I go to Google right now and type yoga coach near me, yoga fitness trainer near me, right? Then my company site will show up since I provide yoga services. So that's what it means, is to influence the visibility of your website in the search engine's organic search result. Why it's organic? Because it takes freaking long time. The organic is there for a reason, because once you implement the SEO, it does not happen right away. It is not like the Google ads or Google or Bing advertising, where you can just pay for the ads and it shows up on the first page in the ad area. But it takes time. There are processes done on the back end or on the website itself. We call this on-page SEO. And there are other processes, we call it off-page SEO, which is done outside the website. And these sort of actions and tasks and steps, you don't do it only once. You have to do it every single month. At least that's how we do it. Okay? Going back again, let's go ahead and define, because I really want everybody to understand this. Okay? Search engine, the way I define it, is a technical and creative process to influence the visibility of your website in the search engines, too many engines, organic search result. Why it's organic? Now watch this. Why it's organic? Because it takes time. You're not going to have your website show up quickly within a week. When you have like 60 trillion pages out there floating in the internet, and if you're a brand new business and your competitor already ranking you, it's going to take you some time. And it depends on the niche, it depends on the location where you're at and how you want to market it, whether it's a local market or a nationwide or several state or international. The wider the spectrum, the wider the space, the harder it's going to be, right? So typically I would say, in our experience, we get clients rank anywhere between 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, some of them even 1.5 years. Okay, and this is up to Google to decide that you have no control over that. So understand this, that the process of SEO takes time. Okay, again, it's a technical process, a creative process for the purpose of influencing the visibility of your website on Google search, right? We haven't finished with the definition yet. So we're talking about what is the reason. So beside that reason, there's an additional reason, and that is when you end up being on the front page, let's say the first one, the whole purpose of this whole process is what? To drive your targeted traffic or targeted audience or ideal customers or ideal audience to your website so they can convert and become your paying customers. Make sense? So how do we generate a package for an SEO project? Well, first of all, you have to know how SEO works, learn it and test it. Don't just learn book-wise, course-wise, and start selling. No, you have to test it either on your own website or maybe several of the local businesses. Test it and feel and see how it works, because it's not perfect. There are few things that's going to work. There's certain things that's not going to work, right? So you have to test it at least to 5 pages, see how the result is coming up. Once you see the result, then you can start selling it. So when you sell it, you have to explain to your customer the same thing that I'm explaining to you, how it works, right? And you also have to educate them when it comes to business. What do the customer want? What are the challenges they're going through? Who are their ideal audience? You have to do all this market research and explain to them. Then the process is the monthly process. I haven't gone there yet, but I'm going to go in a few minutes. What are those monthly processes? But everything is started from the on page. Okay? Yeah, but the thing, Wazifa, even if you want to be on the first page, sometimes that doesn't matter. Why? Because what matters, you need to be on the front page for for the relevant terminologies that your customer are looking for you. Sometimes you can put somebody on the first page for a key phrases that no customer is looking for, something like rubbish. So that makes no difference. So fighting to be on the first page is pointless. When you implement SEO, your way of thinking is supposed to be this way. What is the way? Is to bring my audience to have them find me so they can come to my website, and the website is built in a way that will make it easier for them to navigate and find what they're looking for and end up hiring me, paying me, or buying the product. That's how you have to think. Not in terms of on even the first page. Because being on the first page means nothing. In fact, being on the first page as the first one, you're only gonna get like 30% click. And the second link on the first page gonna get like probably 15% and so forth. Why? Because your customer don't just fall in your lap as the first website and they're gonna make a decision right away. No, they're always looking for other competitors. If somebody came to your website, it's guaranteed they probably looked at 10 other websites before they came to you. Okay? Hey Dane, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing great, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, I meant for the search. Excellent, Wazifa. Yes. So that if they are looking for Edgar services. No, that's a good question. Right now, if I type Edgar services, there's a possibility that you are going to show up because that is your brand name. It is different than somebody looking for example, filing for the SEC compliancy company, right? Somebody who doesn't know your brand, but they're looking for a company like you. That's what you need to rank for. But before you even get into the SEO, one of the processes of search engine optimization technique is the first step is keyword research. So you have to do the keyword research to understand what your audience are typing to look for your product and services. Once you find those keywords, then you have to check out and see, okay, I'm going to type this keyword on Google and see what shows up. If these websites similar to what I provide, okay, good, then I'm relevant to what they're looking for. So you do have to do keyword research to pick the best relevant key phrases that your customer are searching for. I believe I'm already ranking for a certain keyword on a first page, but I did not do this SEO. Yeah, I looked at it and it looks like you are doing actually good. I think there are close to 121 keywords bringing traffic to your website. So that's not bad. And possibly you have an average maybe 200 hits a month on the website because I don't have access to your analytics to know that. My tool basically will pick whatever information it can gather. So I'm assuming maybe 100 to 200 hits a month coming to your website. A company I paid had done some SEO, but it can be expensive and I have been exhausting my budget. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we charge like minimum 1,500 a month, minimum, all the way to maybe like 5 or 6, depends on where are you located, where you want to reach the traffic, citywide or statewide, for example, and how do you want to convert those traffic. So SEO is not just ranking on the first page. There is something called conversion. If you are getting 200 hits out of the 200, how many calling you? How many submitting the form? So let's say if you're getting 200 hits and you're getting 50 calls and 20 submission, that means we need to figure out how to increase the traffic to 400 so your conversion can double. Okay, so SEO is not just ranking. There's so much stuff involved with the SEO. So it's a huge beast. Okay, it's humongous. You speak wisdom. How did you learn SEO? Well, self-taught back in 2006. The first SEO courses I learned were actually black hat. All the unethical technique, which I did not know. That's back in 2006. But later on, I joined the Google search, Google Webmaster Tool community, and then I saw the difference between the unethical technique and the ethical technique. I have to reach national and international. Okay, well, that's going to be very challenging because that means you're trying to reach as many. So that's going to be a lot of work, and it's going to be very expensive, to be honest with you. I may get one submitting the form. Okay, I got one call a month. So you get one call a month, and one submission of form. Plus, you are B2B business. And here's the thing: when it comes to business and digital marketing, you do not want to focus in one area. You have to diversify. What I mean by that, I have some clients that don't even do anything on social media. All they do is just run Facebook ads and they get leads, right? I have some customers that only do SEO and they get leads, and I have some clients that do all of it and they get leads. Make sense? So you have to look at your budget and find out what you want to achieve from all this marketing technique. Because the reason I'm advising a lot of businesses, don't focus in one area. For example, if you only focus on Facebook pages alone, but you're not focusing on other social channels or other ad platform where your customers looking for you, you're actually missing out. Make sense? So SEO is just one part. If you don't want to wait for too long, for example, if you're getting one call and one form submission per month, you're laughing like, okay, per month, then that means maybe you need to try running ads. It's either Google ads or maybe Bing advertising, which is a little bit more affordable than Google, or you can even run Facebook ad. Better yet, excuse me, for your niche, because it's like a B2B and a government kind of business, you can try LinkedIn. You can run LinkedIn ads and target the secretaries, the managers, the people in decision who can actually find your services and hire you. Do you see what I'm saying? So SEO is not the only option. Okay, SEO is not the only option, because the SEO and the organic social media strategy takes time. If you want to wait several months, 1 year, it's up to you. But if you do want to acquire a customer in a short period of time, then you do have to try and invest in online ads or search engine or social media ads. Yeah, first thing, before doing any ad, you have to do the research. What I mean by that, you have to run some analysis on the Facebook ad platform to see if your audience exists first. If they don't exist, then Facebook might not be the option for you. Make sense? So the first thing we do is research the market, research the business, and see what are they applicable. If it's all of it, we can use all of it. If not, then we don't have to. We have some clients that we don't recommend them Facebook ads because of their niche, right? For example, some businesses can't even run an ad, like the CBD oil business. They cannot run an ad at all, okay? Hey, Melanie, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. How different is, if any, is SEO for pages versus blog? Excellent question. Well, the thing is, the Google bots, when the Google bots, the crawler, the spider comes to your website, it reads everything, the backend coding, and the text. When it reads the text, it indexes it, right? But your pages are static. That means you only wrote it once, it came back and indexed it once. It's not going to come back again and again unless you make changes. And once you make the changes on the static pages, then you go back to the Google Search Console and do a submission to let the bots come back and reindex again. The benefit of the blog page is because you are constantly adding new material. And what happens when you do that, you are sending signals to Google bots like, hey, yo, Google, I have a new content, come back, reindex this, and this will help you get more traffic. Okay? So that is the minor difference. But both are important. The static pages, you need it anyway. And the blog, you need it to educate your ideal customers and also to build the traffic and ranking. Wazifa, have you any idea sorry, do you have any idea I liked in ad cost? Well, it depends. I mean, right now I can just give you an idea like that. I can tell you what insurance companies common cost for the ad on Google, mostly like $50 a click. Real estate can be anywhere from a few dollars to $10, $20 based on the keyword. So you do have to do the research. If you have a Gmail account, Wazifa, you can log into Google AdWords, okay, and go to the tools and select Google Keyword Planner and select your city and tap the word, the SEC filing, for example, right? And will give you Google will give you variation of what kind of keywords your audience already search for, and it will give you the prices for the one that is applicable, okay? So what we do in our company, when the client comes to us for their niche, we have my team analyze the market, run the research on the tools, on the Bing and Google and the social, then get the number. And if the client wants, for example, you know what, Yusuf, I want 50 customers per month minimum, or 50 leads. And I'm not going to say customers, let's say 50 leads. Based on our time consumption, like, it will take us like 1 or 2 hours to do the research. Then we're going to tell the clients, you know what, if you want 200 leads, based on our research, this is the cost of the clicks. And this is how much you're going to pay. Let's say 1 or 2,000 or 3,000, and our fees is like 25% of the ad fee. and we're going to run for a month and see what happens, right? Then there's a concept of landing pages and the ad copy, some other stuff that we have to do to make sure that when the customer find the ad and click on it, hopefully they will convert. And also in the online advertising industry, 2% considered standard for conversion. But of course, we want something higher than that. LinkedIn, yes, LinkedIn. Most of the LinkedIn ad is like $2 a click, $3. Yeah, they're not as cheaper than Facebook. Okay, but most of the ad prices in LinkedIn, like $5, $3, $2 startup price, and we usually don't recommend spending less than 1,000 when it comes to ad. Anything 1,000 and up, and there are small cases where small business and startup, when they need some sort of training, and if all they have 500, 300, then okay, we'll tell them to go ahead and try it, but you're not gonna get as much traction as if you pay more, because if you pay more, that means more visibility, more outreach. If you pay less reach. Make sense? So we have to be very transparent when we tell the clients that this is our estimation, and if you reduce it, this is what's going to happen. So for example, there's a prospect from New York who wants to sell his training services online in the New York City. So we did the analysis for his niche. So on LinkedIn, if I remember, I believe it's 1,500 a month minimum that he needs to spend with LinkedIn, and for Facebook at least 1,000, right? If he wants to reach 200 leads. Now, since he cannot afford it, his budget is only like, let's say 500 a month. So now the reach or the lead from 200 went down to like probably 20 or 30 per month instead of 200. Make sense? So you have to look at that stuff too. Okay, so we're still talking about the definition. Is there any question? Does everybody understand now what does SEO means? I just want to make sure. I want to make sure that before we move forward, we have to understand, what is SEO, what it means. Then we can jump to next thing. Any question? So it's a matter of where is the best place to do ads. What tool for the research to know this? Sorry, I may have missed that if you missed mentioning it. Yes, absolutely. So when for your niche, we had to analyze LinkedIn and Facebook and Bing and Google. Then we'll pull the data information. What's the best place to run the ad? For your business, it's more like a B2B. I'm not sure Facebook is the best option, but I don't want to say Facebook is not going to work either, because we have to do the research. That means you have to log into Facebook ad analysis or Facebook ad insight and run the research, and then we get the data. Same thing with Google ad. You can log into Google advertising or Google ad, run the research, then you get the information. Okay, so the tool is within the platform itself. Okay. All right. So okay, cool. So Ansari said yes, he understand. Wazir, you understand? Okay, cool. Now, since we understood the concept of SEO, okay, very, very important, and also understand you gotta be very, very patient, because one of the funny things that I see with some clients that don't understand how SEO work, when they hire us, and after like 1 week they ask us, okay, why we're not ranking? I'm like, hello, we just talked about this. It might take minimum 6 months. So that's why when I close any search engine optimization deal services, we do not do less than 6 months. It has to be 6 months or more, because that way they can see exactly what's happening on a monthly basis. Okay. All right. Since we defined the search engine based on Google and based on how I define it, now we understand the concept. And there is two elements, two sections. One is called on page and the other one is called off page. Okay. Now let's talk about why the search engine is important. Okay. Why SEO is still important even in 2020. In fact, one of the updates that we need to focus on, and I've been talking about this, well, the technology came in 2012, which is the voice feature. But I've been talking about this technology that is going to be super awesome, because right now in America, I think if I remember, more than 13 or 20% of the American households have the Google Home devices and Alexa, and now people search for anything through voice. So that's a whole different subject. This is like a voice search engine stuff. Okay, that's a whole different subject. So let me get back and ask you guys again, why SEO is important. Why the search engine is important for any business, for any website. Why? Tell me why. Can anybody tell me why it's important? Let's just wait for a minute or two. Can anybody tell me, since we defined what SEO is, can we talk about why it's important? You as a website owner, you as a business owner, why do you think that this SEO thing might be important? Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Let me give you some of the answer. Here are several reasons. So let me think of the first one. The first one is because anyone today goes on Google or search engine to look for a business. Yeah, great. Excellent answer. So basically, here's the thing. Why it's important? So people can find you. They want to find the answer to the question they Google. Absolutely, Melanie. Absolutely. Because, and this is very, very important. I look for everything on search engine. Yes, we all of us do. I'm sorry, driving traffic to the right website. Absolutely. Great answers, everybody. Great answers. It's important to generate leads. Beautiful, Tosif. Excellent, Tosif. Yes, I love it. So these are great answers. So let me say SEO is important because it helps you. It actually helps you to boost. It boosts the ranking of your site. Okay. Number two, it helps your target audience search for your product and services. Okay. Three, like Tawseed said, it helps you to generate targeted leads. Not just any lead, targeted leads. Okay. Four, it helps you to increase targeted traffic. Why? Because not all traffic are equal. You got to make sure that the traffic that is hitting my website are the actual leads that are interested in my product and services. Make sense? Number five, which is to me it's very awesome, and that is it helps you to measure your results. Because you have Google Analytics software configured on the website and the Google Search Console, and you are implementing the SEO technique, now you can measure your blogging activity, how many times I'm posting, how many traffic I'm getting, from which city, from which zip code, which location, which device, right? If I'm getting 200 or 500 hits a month, how many of the 500 calling me or submitting a form? Makes sense? So it makes your analyzation of the measurements and result is much sophisticated and easy because you have those tools. So you're not just doing the SEO and just sleeping. Makes sense? There's a lot of work involved, and you can see exactly what's happening. You can look at the traffic, the viewers, how many minutes they're spending, which page are the most popular on my website. That's why it's very important, right? Some people say like SEO is dead. As long as there's an internet, SEO is not gonna die. This is how the search engine is designed. The way the search engine is built, like this crawler, the spider, or the bot, the whole functionality of the bot is to travel the internet through all these 64 trillion pages to index them. You know, last time I heard that the bot goes to look for 6 billion pages per day, right? So the job of the crawler, understand this, when people say that SEO is dead or don't work, they don't know what they're talking about. I think they're talking about selling enormous octopus, okay? So what is the functionality of this bot, this software that Google built or being built their own, or Yahoo, right? The functionality of this bot is to what? To crawl the internet so they can crawl your pages. And after they crawl your pages, what they do, they index those pages, right? Then this bot will help the searcher for whatever the searcher is searching for information. Those information can be retrieved to the searcher, right? And four, it helps you with ranking. Okay, analytics I think is great to know because you can measure. Absolutely. Every website must have these analytics. Not having the analytics to the website is like building a house with no foundation. Okay, it's like floating in the air, right? So the free services from Google, like Google Analytics, is free, and also Google Search Console. But if you want to go a step a little bit further, you can install a third-party company like hotjar.com or Crazy Egg, and I think there's another one called Lucky Orange. You can also use another tool called ClickMeter if you want to track every links. Okay, selling, yes. All right. I guess that's what they think SEO is. Okay, so now we understand. We understand the definition of SEO according to Google and according to me. Now we know why it's important, right? We understood the importance of it, right? Now let's talk about what is the on-site or on-page SEO and off-page SEO. Okay, what is the on-page SEO and what is the off-page SEO? Let me go ahead and share the screen. This Google shows you in detail how to understand and use their Google Analytics tool. The Google Analytics tool it's another beast. Okay, they do have tons of resources. As I mentioned, if you go to the google.com /partners, they have a bunch of videos to show you and teach you how to use every section on the back end of the Google Analytics. Okay, you can also just go to YouTube and type beginner's guide for Google Analytics 2020 or 2019, and you'll find tons of videos that last for an hour that goes through everything on the back end. Or I can just basically answer your questions when it comes to specific details of the Google Analytics. Okay, so now after we define what is SEO, why it's important, and now let's talk about what's the difference between the on-page SEO and the off-page. And this is where the confusion happens. Unfortunately, there are some companies that offer only on-page and they charge monthly, which is incorrect. If you only offer on-page SEO and you only charge once, like a one-time fee, that's perfectly fine, because this is what you're doing. You're optimizing the pages for the on-page SEO and you're done, right? If you're not doing a monthly task, which is called off-page SEO, then you should not charge monthly. Okay, we typically spend my team basically spend anywhere between, on average, from 27 hours up to like 55 hours per domain. So you can see how many work is involved. Okay, so let me share difference. Let me see if this screen can help you. So when we talk about on-page SEO, okay, so there are things on the website itself, like the page title tag. The content itself has to be clear, so the search engine can understand what is it about, and also the human being, which is the most important one, needs to understand what is it about. Having an alt tag or alternative text, which is basically a short description of the images, and this is for blind people. This is for people with disability. Okay, if you have a blog or a page with a big header called header tag, meta description, basically it's the description that you see when you go to Google and type yoga and the link shows up, the blue link shows up, the blue text shows up, then there's a link and there's a small description. That is called meta tag description. Now the meta tag description does have no SEO value. What I mean by that, it has no SEO ranking factor, but it is still important. Why? Because if you write the meta description as if you're talking to a customer, there's a chance that you will get more clicks. Okay, the title tag has an SEO value factor. Keywords, that means the phrases that you put on the whole website itself. But be careful, because with the advanced algorithm in Google's algorithm, you don't have to exactly use the same keyword as it is, because the algorithm right now understand what do you mean by that one key phrase. Okay, and also the internal links. So basically, on-page SEO, the definition here is a technique that includes adjusting the layout of your websites by adding codes, pages, HTML scripts, inserting relevant keywords within the content of your website or the backend, the technical process. You guys remember the title tag, meta tag, schema tag, micro format, a lot of stuff. Some of these technical things you can do it with the Yoast plugin if you have a self-hosted WordPress-based website. Okay. Any question about the on-page SEO? No? Okay. So this is some example of what is the title tag or the page title. Okay, this is the page or the post title as it shows up in the top of your browser in the search engine. So on the back end, if you code the website, you have to type this, like this title, and the text right here. So let's see if I'm a yoga business, I'm gonna put San Antonio Yoga Master in between and close it. So that's the back end text. With Yoast, you don't have to do that because with Yoast, all you have to do is just fill up the text. The meta description, this is the paragraph below the title that is used to draw readers in. That's what I mean by still write it, okay? Because if you don't write the meta tag description, Google will automatically pick anything from that page, okay? And that's why sometimes when you search for businesses or product online on Google, you will see that this particular website has the blue text link and this weird description because it automatically just picked it up. So it's better for you to write it manually and add in the backend. And this is how it looks when it comes to the code itself. So you have to open this meta name equal colon description close content. Then you have to write the meta description and you have to close it. That's how it looks. The keyword meta tag has no value whatsoever, so you can completely ignore it. Okay, so this part here you don't have to do it. Again, this is only basic image I'm showing it to you, how this is going to look like on the back end through the coding area. But if you are building a website using WordPress or self-hosted WordPress, then you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about this, excuse me, but you can use the Yoast plugin to help you to do that for every single page. Now, here's the note for you guys. My God, it's 6:47 p.m. Central Time. I'm out of time right now. Write this note. When it comes to page titles, if you have 5 pages, make sure that the page title does not exceed more than 70 characters, including spaces. Also, the page title or the title tag should be relevant to that particular page. So whatever that page's theme is about or the information is about, that's where you're going to use the title tag or the keyword for that page, okay? The same rule applies for the meta description. The meta description, even though Google made a new update where you can write up to 320 character, I still recommend that if you can keep it under 160, and this is where you can explain or talk to your audience about what that page is about, okay? Make sure you put that in your note. So off-page SEO, so this is like your website, and there are so many other properties that pointing it back at you, like the social media, PR site, video site, slide share, document, image share, publication. So anything points back at you, and whatever points back at you, which is called link building, has to be relevant. Those site has to be in high authority. What I mean by that, not a spam link or irrelevant link. And sometimes you can have a diversity of relevant sites and a little bit of not relevancy, like content or blog pages from third-party influencers, right? So to define the off-page SEO, a technique that includes the process of link building or getting links back to your website from others or activities that happens outside of your website that have a direct influence on your website's behavior in search engine. So sometimes, even if you don't do link building process, but you write an amazing content that your customers are hungry for and they share it, right? So what happens when they share and talk about it, other people can probably recommend or point back at you naturally, and that's called natural link, okay? Can you give us an example using Yoast on WordPress website after? Well, to be honest with you, I will, but if I can, because I'm almost out of time, it's almost 7 o'clock. If I cannot finish this, then I'll definitely come back tomorrow and continue to talk about this subject. Then if I have time, then I'm gonna for sure show you how to do the Yoast. I mean, I know I have a video with Corey on Yoast, but Yoast changed a little bit of their backend configuration, so it might not look exactly the same. But I'll do my best, okay? If I cannot finish it in 10 minutes because I have a lot of stuff to talk about, then for sure I'll come back tomorrow and finish it. So, do we understand right now? Do we understand what SEO is? Do we understand the importance of the SEO? Do we understand the difference between the on-page and the off-page? Okay? So before I move forward, so now this is an example. I basically typed, Austin real estate These are the ad area. The sidebar is completely removed from Google. So this the blue, this is called the title tag or page title. Okay, then you have the link, and this area is called the meta tag description. So you can do all this on the back end of the website, especially if you can use Yoast. So when you log into your self-hosted WordPress-based website and you go to your about page, scroll down and look at the Yoast option, and from there it will tell you what do you want to put on the title tag, what do you want to put on the meta description. And the cool thing about the Yoast will tell you if the optimization or the text that you put, if it's good or not, if it's missing certain things or not. It's like your personal SEO assistant. Okay. All right. So this is what I mean by title tag up to 70 character. You can see the keywords right here. Then the link and the meta tag description. Okay. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Because we talked about what is SEO. We talked about the importance of search engine. Then we talked about the difference between the on-page and the off-page. Now remember, even if you do the on-page SEO, that does not mean you're going to start getting all the traffic. You still have to do promotion. And what is the promotion process? It is the off-page SEO. Now, if you only focus on daily social media posts and weekly blog posts, if you do that in your local business, that can actually always also help you if you do it in that basic format. The most important thing about the content, remember, you don't want to write content for the sake of dumping information on your pages. No, you have to write the content in a high quality format. When I say high quality, that means something that the customer is asking and you are giving them the answer, and they're benefiting from it. They're getting some positive impact from it, right? And they're going to share it. They're going to talk on the comment box. That's how valuable it is for them. So you have to write it for your audience first. Okay? Don't people who search always click on the ads first rather than the organic? That is an excellent question. I'm glad that you asked this, because what happened back in the day, when Google Ads used to be on the top, was still on the top, the back end color used to be yellow. Then you used to have on the sidebar also with the yellow background, right? So they changed that. They removed the sidebar, and now they only focus on the top or on the bottom of the page, right? When they changed that feature, you were able to see this option here where it says ad like in yellow color, right? But now they removed it. Why? Because if you look at it, it looks like organic. So basically, yes, people do click on this one thinking that it's organic, but in reality, it's not. Okay, so it's actually good, to be honest with you. I'm happy that it did that, in a sense that, yes, my customer going to get all those leads now. Makes sense? But technically, the majority of trust happens in the organic. What I mean by that, 12 to 28% of the customer going to click on this, even though Google Ads generates billions of dollars for Google, and 80 to 90% going to click on the organic one. Okay, the benefit of this one, you're going to be here quickly, and you're going to measure clicks, and you can understand your audience. Of course, it's going to be a little bit pricey, but at least you can put a cap on how much you want to spend on a daily or monthly basis. This one here, the only disadvantage, it takes a long time, but once it reaches on the first page for several key phrases organically, then you don't have to worry about the ad anymore. Okay, so that's an excellent question. All right, folks, it is 6:54 p.m. Central Time. To be honest with you, I do have to log off at 7. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will come back tomorrow and do part 2 of the SEO. We're going to stick on this topic still. Okay, we're going to make sure that we understand this 100%. And Wazifa, if you can give me access later on to your website so I can show you how to do the Yoast, we can hopefully cover that tomorrow. Okay, because I do want everybody else to benefit as well. Okay, so any more questions, everybody? Any more questions about the SEO, the definition, the importance, the difference between on-page and off-page? I was told by Google Ads reps that it takes time to get the ad to show up immediately unless you have a lot of spend. Incorrect. That is incorrect. You can spend less and still be the top one. Okay, because there's many factor called the ad score that relies on your landing page, on the messages that reflects the copy on the ad itself. So I don't. That's not true. One of the good things that I like about Google Ads, they do have an excellent customer support though, because when you spend ad, their team will actually sit with you over the phone even for hours until they make sure that you understood everything and you applied everything, and they will actually walk you through at no charge. Okay, so I'm not sure who you spoke to, because technically, no, you don't have to be the first one just because you're paying a lot of money. In fact, some people put a lot of money, but they're on the third one or the fourth one. There's a technique behind it. In fact, that subject I can cover definitely on the Google Ads. Okay, I can also send you a video that explains in detail how Google measures the ranking factors within the ad. Okay, so that's something totally different. It has nothing got to do with the search engine. Okay, Melanie, can you rank for 2 key phrases on one page? Excellent question, Melanie. Yes. So what happens is this: if you take the example of golf course, right? So you're in the business of golf course, and you also sell golf clubs. So on that homepage or somewhere in the pages, you're talking about the golf course in, let's say, in San Antonio, but somewhere in the pages you also sell the golf clubs product, so you can rank for those two as well. Because this thing is this: when you write amazing content or the pages itself, when the bot comes in and index the pages, and whatever the target audience search for those terms, and if those terms on your website, and due to other 200 factors, if Google wants to, it can decide to show that result for those. Make sense? So yes, even if you work on, for example, I think Ansari was asking about the packages. Sometime in our packages we say, okay, if you want to rank for 5 keywords, very super relevant keywords, we're going to charge you this much for ranking you, for helping you to rank for 5 or keywords, for example. While we're working on that, eventually, within the technique, Google's going to send more traffic for maybe like 100. Why? Because your pages are full of content, and Google will decide for whoever's searching for these terminologies and you fit the criteria of Google's guideline. Of course, they're going to send you more traffic. That's why you need to utilize search engine tool or SEO tools to see what other keywords bring the traffic to my website, even though I never thought about it. Okay, excellent question, Melanie. What's the other thing? You're welcome. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's interesting that I think I should start practicing. Yes, absolutely, man. You should have started practicing ASAP. So whatever you learn in the SEO, do it fast. Because like I said, I mean, you can get books on SEO like this thick, okay? All the SEO that I'm teaching right now, I'm still talking about the basic. I haven't gone to the advanced stuff, which is like, the index and no follow. We're not going to go there yet. I want people to understand the most basic one first, right? Get the basic out of the way. Then eventually you can get into the more detailed stuff, okay? A first page website versus multiple pages site, which one is better for SEO? That's another excellent question. Because the nature of the bots, right? Remember, what did we say? What did we say? The purpose of the bot to come to your page. And think of it this way, Tosif. If you have one page with 300 words that only talks about cupcake, right? But guess what? Your company sells ice cream, gelato, and whatnot. None of those are mentioned. Just cupcake. Do you think you're gonna rank for other stuff? No, you won't. Make sense? So the more pages, watch this. The more pages with high quality content, the more discoverability. That means the bot's going to discover more information, which means more indexing, which means more traffic. Make sense? That's why I prefer a website with multiple pages than just one page. One page can be used for landing pages. It can be used for ads. Okay. Now, if Google decides to rank that one page with that one particular content, they can do that too. Okay. But remember, when it comes to the search engine, you don't want to just think about SEO. You do have to think, number one, about your customer. This is very, very important. And I don't see a lot of people talk about this. You have to focus about your customer, who they are, where they're coming from, what are they searching. I am building everything to make it easier for them, whether it's a website or social or ads. Okay? All right. Any more questions, folks? It is 7 p.m. It is 7 p.m. Let's come back tomorrow and continue talking about SEO. So if you all have any more questions for tomorrow, please put those questions in the comment section or send it to my DM. It's best to kind of sometimes go slow on these sort of complicated subjects because I want you all to understand it 100%. And I'm going to repeat this again and again. Even tomorrow, I'm going to run through the definition of what we talked about it today, and then we'll continue on where we stopped. Okay? So, if you all enjoyed watching this live streaming, don't forget to tag some of your cool friends, invite them, or share this. I would super highly appreciate it. And make sure that if you have a website, you utilize these tools because you do want to get the best for your websites and products and services and businesses. I will send you the information. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Wazif. Tosif, thanks a lot, Akhi. I appreciate it, man. All right, so I'm going to get back with you guys tomorrow, maybe around the same time, 6 p.m. If it's early, just check out my Facebook post. Check the post. And again, don't forget to invite some of your colleagues, some of your friends, developers, those who want to learn this. Okay, because I do this on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget, leave your questions, leave your comments, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.